Alright. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We've got MAXPAX, arguably the best Protoss player in the world, fighting for that title with Hero. But right now fighting against CLEM in the bottom left side of the map. And CLEM's been causing problems for everybody lately with both his Protoss against his fellow Terrans and with his Terran against the Protoss players. And I think what I've really seen from CLEM is yes, he'll still play aggressive early, but he will swap into turtle mode, defense mode, and he will just play like a porcupine style. I think we should call it hedgehog, right? Like hedgehog, you know, that's what they used to call, you know, like you have like a big block of pikes, right? You just kind of set up the hedgehog to deal with heavy cavalry and whatnot, charging into them. That's essentially how CLEM he'll swap into that mode versus aggressive Protoss players lately. Especially against Hero, where he just says, I'm gonna wait for you to impale yourself on my pikes. Like you guys, we all watched, what was the movie where Mel Gibson had his man boobs out the whole time? The William Wallace, Braveheart. It's like in that movie where they figure out, hey, this English heavy cavalry's a pain. What if we just get big sticks and kind of dig them into the ground and the cavalry just charges into it and gets wrecked? Essentially, that's how CLEM will play against Hero a lot. But against MAXPAX, it is a little bit different because MAXPAX is not as willing to throw his army away as Hero sometimes is. Oh, 3-gate opening, guys. He proxies his second gate on the other side, third gate at home. That's right, MAXPAX doing the 3-gate. He loves to mix this in. I love that he's doing it in game one. I feel like MAXPAX is becoming such a better tournament player. It's a best of 7. Remember, guys, MAXPAX lost his match. CLEM won his match, but CLEM started in the loser's bracket because he was second seed out. Winner of this will get to the semifinals. Loser will be eliminated from the tournament. These guys do not have any extra lives left over. Reaper comes back, but it barely misses that gateway. And it's Adept, of course, going to keep itself very safe. It's double gas, which does mean the barracks, command center, everything's on the high ground, but CLEM just doesn't realize what he's up against. So if he loses these units, this could be a disaster. 2 Adepts in the fog. Oh, they're going to come out with the line of sight blocker. Nicely done. And you can see the way he's trying to hunt down that Hellion if possible. Good micro, CLEM. The Reapers and the Hellions do have 5 range. Adepts only have 4 range. Technically, he's got the range advantage, but he loses a Reaper. Both Adepts survive. It's a good trade for MAXPAX. 3 Stalkers have warped in on the front. Twilight Council goes down behind it. Probes are still building. There's only 2 Marines on the low ground. He is not expecting these 3 Stalkers. This is going to be the jump scare of a lifetime. The Adepts are there. The depot does raise, but both Marines go down instantaneously. That being said, Cyclone. Oh, a very good choice. The Cyclone is going to be a nice safety unit. It'll defend his high ground really easily. He should go to that right side with the Cyclone. Oh, Stalkers actually try to push the ramp. Kind of crazy. Command Center gives vision. If he runs to that right side, might have been able to kill it, but he didn't want to risk getting focused down, so he's just going to chill out for now. Cyclone getting some more lock-ons, pushing those Stalkers away. CLEM trying to play safe right now. And you notice, he actually wants to punish. So if the Stalkers run up, he wants to damage them as much as possible and then pick up and evacuate in the medevac. But another SCV goes to the low ground. It does die. The Adept stopping the depot from raising. Oh, he's going to jump on top. And MAXPAX maybe going a bit too far there as the double Cyclone lock-on comes in. Second Cyclone comes out. Adept and Stalker does fall down. Blinks on the way, as well as more probes and an Adept. Looks like did warp in up there as well. Maybe shy on the gas a little bit to make the third Stalker. Got to be careful. Stalker's good versus Marines, but the Cyclone lock-ons can add a lot of damage. MAXPAX did miss a potential volley. He could have mixed in there. Stalkers have the shields that can regen over time, but that's only if you get the time to regen. A lot of these Protoss units going down. CLEM. Dude, this is the whole problem that CLEM is for every Protoss player out there right now. It's you can surprise him with your attack, and he's still going to do pretty well against it. But, oh, he's chased way too far. CLEM getting cocky, man. He should not have moved out there. He's got a siege tank, though. Oh, but using that medevac micro. Good luck focusing that down. Remember, Blink is not ready for a while. Another Stalker goes down. CLEM defending off the cuff with fantastic micro. More depots coming down. He had to use a supply drop there because he did get supply blocked in the midst of the insane micro. Second barracks is up. Third barracks and engineering bay go down. CLEM just trying to get to that standard 2-base setup. He's down 9 workers, but MAXPAX third base only now about to begin. Double Cyclone been a bit more popular recently. We saw Beyond use this as well. Reaper accidentally got queued up. Marine drop tries to move out. MAXPAX spots it, but he loses an Adept. And it feels like, yeah, Clem's adamant. He wants to move out with this. He will get spotted by the pylon, I believe. And no, he changes his mind. CLEM realizes there's no reason to take risks right now. Just stabilize. If we can get that tank on the high ground, that could be nice. We've got a sentry warped in at home. He used the energy recharge on it, hallucinated, and he's going to use that to blink up on the high ground. Now, he can do this. Get the stim down. But he's going to lose Stalkers to the siege tank. The tank on sieging! CLEM's trying to shift it forward. It's not sieged. It's a disaster. And that is a free stim snipe. That is a massive delay on the most important upgrade for the Protoss. Gets the tech lab on the factory as well. Stim starts now at 6.5 minutes on another upgrade or another tech lab. But that's 1 minute and 40 seconds out. 8 minutes. The earliest stim will be available. Probably about 8:10 to be more accurate. RoboBay is on the way. That's a big snipe for MAXPAX. Takes the teeth out of any potential Clem push. Accidental Reaper queue up here for Clem. I think it's an accident anyway. Unless he wanted to check for Psystorm against RoboBay. And RoboBay was in the natural. He didn't see it. So he's not completely confirmed what the splash damage tech is. Forge is on the way. 3 more gateways are building. Reaper tries to poke back in. Just wants to see the probe count. Maybe kill a probe if he can as well. Sentry warping in. MAXPAX has got a solid worker lead. I do think he comes out of this chaos on top in everything except direct army numbers. And what I mean by that, I mean, well, maybe not everything. I mean, the Forge is really late. Nah, his gas count's also not that big. Like, he can't... There we go. Extended thermal lens finally starting. I don't know why it feels like MAXPAX is so ahead. I think it's just that worker differential. Clem's ahead on everything except the worker count, I guess is what I should actually say. And if MAXPAX buys himself an extra couple of minutes, then he'll run away with the game. But it's far from a conclusive situation. 27 Marines out, 4 siege tanks. A very scary push. 5 siege tanks with this one popping out. 5 siege tanks can almost one-shot a Colossus. So he's got a decent answer to the Colossus, even though the Marines are incredibly vulnerable. MAXPAX, he needs that Colossus out so badly. Oh, he blinks forward. Worth it there for MAXPAX. Clem does not have stim available just yet. Force fields could split him. Oh god, Clem. Clem with the boy pull. He's trying to go for it. The Colossus. Nice hot pickup, but the Stalkers focus fire to full medevac of Marines. That is a delicious move. Not only that, he's got Zealots ready to intercept the rally. These Zealots can ruin his day. Those Zealots looking for the counter. I think they're looking to flank on the siege tanks. MAXPAX can easily give this base up. The SCVs have been pulled. He has no need to defend this base, but he might as well take a good trade here if he can. I would probably just give the base up and counterattack with the Zealots, but MAXPAX feels confident that he can break it. He's judged the fights pretty well so far. Let's see if he can continue to do so. Colossus gets focused by the tanks. Zealot flank is very nice. Immortal Stalker does take care of the siege tanks eventually, and MAXPAX with another Colossus comes out should be completely safe. Drop goes north. Marine Marauder. Stalker's going to be blinking back here. Nexus could go up on the 4th base. 63 probes for MAXPAX. He's looking completely rock solid. Clem's basically just kind of going through the motions, seeing if he can force a dumb mistake out of MAXPAX. MAXPAX, not one who's prone to giving up advantages like this. I dare say Hero would struggle to throw a game from here. It's kind of a specialty of his. Hold on, hold on, hold on! Oh no! But wait, gets a sentry and immortal a few stalkers. I mean, good catch for Clem. The Colossus survives, that's the most important part. He's got these little hodgepodge drops, getting himself a pylon, but he's so damaged, he's just got to pick up and leave, and the stalkers will find himself another medevac. He unloads on the low ground. I think the stalkers maybe could have just stood there and fought. Bio comes in, grabs itself another pylon snipe. Nexus getting very damaged, but the Marines just cannot stand with those beams and the MAXPAX lasers. Do take game 1 versus Clem. Gets some momentum with the 3-gate. A really back and forth early game. But I love that MAXPAX applies pressure and comes out on top. Alright, going into game 2. MAXPAX, nice aggression in game 1. I think we're going to see a return. Actually, you know, he might open Phoenix here. Phoenix Colossus on El Dorado. Pretty good style, especially if you take this southern base. So we might actually see 2 games in a row that aren't just straight up 2-gate or 3-gate blink robo, his standard. Barracks into gas for Clem. I see a lot of second gas builds for him lately, and no surprise to see it here again. We don't see Phoenix Charge from anyone other really than Hero, and occasionally Zaun will play like a Phoenix Charge Immortal style. I don't know if it's entered MAXPAX's skill set. I don't know if I said Maxibon. I guess I'm hungry. I'm not hungry at all. Maxibon's a friggin' ice cream here, guys. I don't know if you guys have those. Like, it's like half ice cream sandwich, half a chocolate ice cream. I'm not even sponsored by them. Damn it. Gotta make these guys pay me before I let food thoughts replace player names. Cybercore before Nexus. Very standard for MAXPAX. He's not a fan of the old Nexus before Core. It's a much better build. if you know your opponent's going to skip the Reaper. And on this map, most Terrans do skip the Reaper. So maybe a slight missed opportunity. MAXPAX playing so conservatively. Maybe could have taken a bit of a lead. This is a very fast factory. And it's a little further back. He kind of hit it there in the back. I don't think MAXPAX scouted the second gas, did he? Oh, no, he did. He scouted the second gas. I think this is just going to be, I guess, with how far away the factory is, I imagine we just build a Hellion, or maybe just straight into Widow Mine drop. He does like the old, very fast 6 Marine single Widow Mine drop. That is one of Clem's favorites. Adept first. Warp Gate starts. That tells it is going to be a Twilight build for MAXPAX. And of course, your second gas is always quite delayed if you go Nexus after Cybercore. It just delays your probing a little bit. Got to get that second pylon a little bit earlier as well to speed up the Adept. And there's going to be Hellion into Reacted Marine. Stargate does go down. Okay, he does cancel Warp Gate. Never mind, guys. Stargate goes down a few seconds later than I expected it, but could very well be that build. Oracle into Blink, also a relatively common build order, as the Command Center starts on the natural very late. 2 minutes 40, because he wanted to go for that super quick starport and medevac. So Clem here, not playing very economically. He wants to scout with the drop. And the whole thought process for him is he can do damage if the player is really greedy, and he can always scout with this, right? He can always see if it's Phoenix, and he wants to get in there when there's just 2 Phoenix, because if there's 3 or 4 Phoenix, the drop often gets shot down. But if he can see the Phoenix quickly turn around, boost out of there, unload the Marines on the low ground, he should be okay. Oh, sorry, a bit of lag as we click on the units there. Sometimes on the EU server, we do get a little bit of lag when you're watching from the other side of the world. And there we go, guys. Here's that 6 Marine Widow Mine drop. Well, Hellion and a Marine ain't going to be enough to defend that natural, but he's not going to slow the drop down. He realizes he's got to get across this map to punish these Adepts being over here. 2 Adepts coming in, with the 2 Marines coming in, and the Hellions adding a good amount of damage. Should be able to get rid of one of those Adepts. The drop flies in. Phoenix already shooting it. He's going to commit. Dude. Clem mad dogging it right now, and he's going to get punished super hardcore. Loses a medevac with a Marine inside. The Stalker pulls back to the battery. The Phoenix can disable something here. Marines run up into the main base. He says, well, I can't fight near the battery, but I can maybe take some stuff down. Good micro on the Marine. Stutter stepping away from the probes, focus firing, and dude, I thought that should have been the most useless drop of all time, but welcome to playing PvT against Clem, guys. Man, YOLO's a drop into your Phoenix. It's like a guy headbutts your frigging broadsword, but his skull is so thick, his micro is so good, he literally kind of, you're like, well, technically I chopped into his face, but then you look down, your blade's friggin' fractured, man. You literally he broke your blade with his skull. Clem's just so good at microing everything, keeps his macro up behind it, so it doesn't cost him anything. Like, if Beyond's shoving in with Marines that chaotically, you can guarantee he's supply blocked or something behind it, but Clem just doesn't make any mistakes like that. His mechanics are insane. Oh, Hellion denies the 3rd as well. That's so annoying. It is going to be 4 gas into Robo. I still think MAXPAX is perfectly fine. Keep in mind, I'm amazed that he got the damage he did. It's still bad. Should definitely give you the context, especially if you're not an expert PvT player. He's in a desperate spot. He's going to go for an all-in. So he's building Vikings out of the reacted starport. He is making stem, but I don't think he builds an add-on on this barracks, and he's just going to do a Marine tank Viking push. Try to build the Viking count to overwhelm the Phoenix, Vikings, and tanks together. Both counter Phoenix, and they counter the Colossus. And then if he can just do a 3-racks Marine tank Viking push, he can potentially do big damage. He's looking to try and catch these Phoenix. Oh, good lock-on. Very nice lock-on. Almost gets rid of one of the Phoenix, and he's pushing already. I don't think he should push with this army. That's 5 Marines, 2 Vikings, and a Cyclone. It's a crazy push, but what is there to defend it? Only a few Adepts, 2 Stalkers, a Sentry. 6 Phoenix, though, can disable all of the big units. And I think Clem, he shows a push and then he pulls back without really revealing. Because MAXPAX doesn't know the starports on the reactor. And that is the biggest tell here. If you see the starport on the reactor, you know this guy's crazy. He's pumping Vikings right now. He is not building the standard 3-racks bio setup. Now he sees a few extra Vikings there. MAXPAX's alarm bells might start to go off, as I think we're going to see him move out very soon for Clem. He's decided he's a bit too far behind off this opening. He's going to go for a massively committed push. I wouldn't be surprised to see him bring at least 8 SCVs. He's just bringing 2. Just 2 repairing SCVs. Okay, so just to repair. It's not really to tank. They're just to like slowly repair if the fight gets dragged out. He has a slow siege up. Wants to push from this side so that he's not going up a ramp. Phoenix are on the other side. They could really rip apart the rally point of this. 1 Immortal, 3 Adepts, 2 Sentries, 2 Stalkers and a Sentry. Guardian Shield's available. There we go. Vikings get a volley off on the Phoenix. Nice tank shot to start. A bunch of Marines get force fielded, but the Marines do slide behind. Vikings, Cyclones, Marines try to deal. The Phoenix jumping on top. One tank does immediately get dropped down as the Vikings take care of it. The tank's going to get blasted, though. The Immortal will pull back. That Immortal pullback is really big for MAXPAX, but he loses all of his Phoenix. And now he's got Colossus coming out. Really good for stopping pushes. Not when there's 6 Vikings overhead. Now, of course, Clem has so few units on the ground. Maybe MAXPAX can just shade adepts or jump on top and force him to land his Vikings, in which case the Colossus becomes very useful again. 2 Vikings get shot down almost instantly. The lift does get cancelled there. The Colossus comes in. The Vikings tried to land. They have to lift off again to take care of the Colossus. It does almost no damage to the siege tank, like literally almost nothing. And dude, Clem with a dirty, desperate all-in after a rough start, but it's such a good push, specifically against Phoenix Colossus. Clem mixing this all into this game. It was such a dicey spot. He still doesn't have shields, no +1. He's just now building actually a 3rd barracks. This was only a 2 barracks push. What a nasty situation he was in, and what a clever way to get himself out of it. If you have charge, this push gets absolutely hammered. Clem tried this last week against Hero. He thought it was Phoenix Colossus. Hero came out with Phoenix Charge, and it was the most instantly GG moment ever. Like, literally, the Zealots jumped on Clem's army, and he just tapped. He didn't even let the fight happen. The moment he realized that it wasn't Phoenix Colossus, he knew he was dead. But in this situation, we get to see the opposite. The build working perfectly. He's even repairing Vikings, building bunkers, stimming Marines around now that he's got a medevac there as well. Good stutter step for MAXPAX. Off a few Marines, but does lose a shield battery. Forge comes in behind. 3rd base still up for MAXPAX, but of course Clem's going up to 5 barracks behind, getting ready for a potential future push if he needs to. Sentry Zealot coming in, but this is slow Zealots, guys. Slow Zealots. Oh, that is rough. It's like dudes with no coats going into a land war in Russia. It is not a good idea, Napoleon. Turn around. Guess this might be the wrong analogy since Clem's the Frenchman in this situation. But I don't know any Danish historical figures. I could probably just say like Ragnar or something like that, but then it doesn't fit the meme. What can I say? Immortals going down. Clem absolutely smashing. Liberator sieging the ramp. It's a beautiful push there. Marines, Vikings, medevac hanging out. We've got the Ark on that side. Stalker Sentry as well. The single slow Zealot comes in and says, oh, you don't have a 3rd base? Yep, no kidding. No way, man. Of course he doesn't have a 3rd. This guy's been building reacted Vikings for the last 5 minutes. Going to try and force field his ramp and go for an Immortal counter drop. Those Immortals have some heavy lifting to do. I think it's because he saw no 3rd. He thinks, well, maybe we can drop on the tanks, clean those up. Charge is finished. Charge Zealot's very good against the army that doesn't have stim shields or medevacs. But guess what, guys? Stim shields, medevacs, and +1 have all finished now. They've all kicked in. Drop coming in from the top left of our screen. Drop coming in from the top left of our screen. Immortals dropping on top of their tanks. Delicious flank there for MAXPAX. But the Marine Ball will come down and say, get away from my siege tanks, you dirty piece of pie. And Clem does take game 2, tying the series up, avoiding what looked like it might be heading in the direction of a 2-0 lead. But now we're going 1-1. All right, guys, Clem in the bottom left side of the map going double gas. It's kind of clutch. Like I said, he's still capable of doing this very aggressive early stuff. Remember, he kept on gas for a while. His command center didn't go down until 2 minutes 40. Normally, a double gas build builds a command center at 2:15, 2:20. So he was really committing to that fast starport, and he likes to do that on El Dorado. And I think MAXPAX got to be a little annoyed because he's like, you know he's going to do that opening every game on that map. you even shut the drop down reasonably well. I mean, yeah, you lose 5 probes. You're still in a good spot, and then gets you with that nasty Viking push. Really good zoning. I think that the thing that made that work so well for Clem is the way he kept the Phoenix away from ever scouting the starport on the reactor. If that gets spotted, MAXPAX drops a Twilight and starts making charge instantly. And even if you take some damage, I mean, basically what you do as MAXPAX is you kind of avoid fighting the push. And you kind of go around and cut off the reinforce and run probes away if you even need to, and maybe even give up a Nexus, because the moment charge kicks in, you're going to just destroy. And Clem's so committed, he can't even really defend his natural from even a handful of like Stalkers or Phoenix counterattacking, picking off his rally point. Reaper's hanging out here. Just taking a look around the map, making sure he's not being proxied. You can see this is a more normal command center timing. Went down at 2:15. No scout for him. Of course, MAXPAX. We finally get to see MAXPAX play like MAXPAX, guys. Twilight Council. No doubt we'll see a second gate. A Robo. Probably a third gateway as well. I mean, this is his comfort zone, this build. It's a big map as well, Amygdala. You guys might remember Amygdala, Princess in the Star Wars prequel films. Very good films, much better than the originals. Sorry, I've been purposely trying to trigger people too much today. What can I say? Next thing I'll say, Game of Thrones Season 7 was the best one. Ooh, Reaper's coming in, going for the probe snipes there. 3 probes, not bad. Can you get a 4th? Oh, good probe pull away. MAXPAX saves the 4th. I think it's okay to lose 3 probes. It's not super ideal, but it's fine. He's gone command center on the high ground. As long as you chrono your probes afterwards, which... Nope, he's gonna chrono blink. He's like, nah. I want that blink out, man. I want to do nasty things to my opponent with blink. And it's cycling medevac again. So CLEM has had a habit of dropping into people. Like, he so wants to be aggressive and be on the map. Most players would not do this, but there we go. Look at that. He's gonna get an Adept. He does already start tank production behind it. Adept goes down. Nicely done. 2 Stalkers looking to flank that Cyclone, but it should escape. Second gate and Robo are there. No third gateway. Does MAXPAX feel confident going for a third base? I think seeing a Cyclone, he's not too worried about an early push. If you haven't played Stargate, the Cyclone's at best a harassment unit, and often just purely defense for clearing Adepts and then hanging. Cyclone Marine drop coming forward, remember. Hasn't been spotted. Now it has. The probe spotted it. Oh, does get 1 probe across the pylon. MAXPAX with a very quick pull away. Gets a few hits on the medevac. Only a bit of mining time in 1 probe. That could have been a lot worse. Third Nexus is coming up. And of course, we have the Great Wall of anti-4-gate defense here, guys. CLEM doesn't quite have the tank and the Raven ready, though. So he's going to just build a few Marines while he's waiting for these tech labs to finish. You can see his natural only 35 workers. He'll start squeezing in a third gas. Engineering bay is already down in the back. And as he's up to, I think, 2 siege tanks, probably time to swap these add-ons around now. This barracks will swap into that tech lab. Get into the stim, the shield. He'll likely put his starport on this reactor in about 30 seconds and start building medevacs. Who knows, he might just build one for itself, just for simplicity of the build. Stalker's coming forward, 2 more gateways go down, and a Templar Archives. MAXPAX, loving the Storm. Dude, Storm is such a good opening. It's such a good way to play. I love that it's being mixed into the meta. I feel like players are really good at mixing up their styles at the moment. And now that we're in these best of 7 formats in this tournament, I think we're seeing players get more and more experimental. They've had a bit of time to prepare, think about their strategies. Going to be the Raven harass. Templar Archives also counters this. Now, I don't know where you guys stand. I'm always torn. If I go Storm and they go for Raven harass, I don't want them to know I've gone Storm until after I've ambushed their army. But it's so hard to resist warping in a High Templar and just feedbacking the Raven and removing all of its energy. But I feel like it's like, yeah, it's better to resist and ambush them with the first big Storm attack. Dude, that was 3 probes, not bad. Almost got a 4th. That's a really good damage for the first auto turret. Mining time as well. Third command center on the high ground. Another auto turret comes in. This time the Stalkers shut it down. Doesn't get any mod probes that time, I don't think. No, does not. Did he see the Templar Archives? No, he didn't. Ooh, okay, guys. 5 gates, 3 more coming in right now. Remember, the winner of this will go through to the semifinals. Loser is out of the entire tournament. It is a best of 7, first to 4 wins. We'll secure it. That Cyclone looks very aroused right now. He's like, I smell something. I smell a stinky observer here. Doesn't have any scan energy. The observer, I think, noticed that suspicious movement. Goes over to the other side. I remember Zest used to always put the observer here, because no one would ever scan over here, and he just kind of glimpse you moving in and out of your base. Surveillance mode, when they added that, really made the observer much stronger. Being able to siege it so it doesn't get F2'd around gives you a bit of extra vision. Haven't seen too many macro games today. I wouldn't mind seeing a big back and forth one. I think this game's close enough it could absolutely get there. Stalker's blinking back. It's a big army, though. Yes, the 4th and 5th barracks is coming in, but... Are they there? Yeah, they're up in the natural. Problem, 3rd command center is there as well. So it's not actually a committed push. It's just like he could push, but he doesn't have to. Archon's coming in. Storm's already finished. Prism with 3 High Templar inside. More Zealots are warping in. 4th Nexus on the way for MAXPAX. Remember, the first Storm's the most deadly. Raven finds it. Stims a lot of his bio to hunt that down. He's like, get rid of that bloody pervy boy. 2 SCVs go down to a small Zealot poke on the south. More Zealots coming in behind it. MAXPAX, the king of just clicking Zealots in 1 or 2 at a time to be a nuisance. This Marine Scout sees that it's charge. Doesn't see much else. I think Clem, though, seeing Zealots and not seeing too much else. No gases on the 3rd. He might be a little... I mean, the gases don't tell him anything. I wonder if he's getting suspicious that it might be a mass Zealot style. It's not really in MAXPAX's mode of play, or in his range, I should say. Medevac saves one of the Widowmines, only 2 probes. Good harassment. Doesn't get too much direct damage. Here comes the Prism. But he's got a Viking up front that's starting to damage the Prism. Viking goes down. Great focus fire for MAXPAX. Focusing down that Viking and damaging the Raven as well as baiting the auto turrets. A good start to the fight here. But notice the pre-spread for Clem. He's got to spread those Marines a bit more as well. That Prism, it's a problem. That Prism, oh, the Marines taking big storms. I mean, pretty good dodges by Clem, but the High Templar spreading storms across that entire army. Does he have any storms left? I think he's got 1 left in there. The Marines, though, run away. Widowmine drop tries to go in. Stalkers should be able to shut that down. Indeed, they do. Widowmine gets out. We'll see if MAXPAX is watching. And, of course, he is. MAXPAX has got eyes in the back of his head. Can't sneak up on this guy. Clem's not too happy with how that last trade went. He is behind in the trading. We see a lot of games where Terran's winning in the trading for a while and still loses. So being down in the trading, usually disastrous. But that Terran macro is good. His supply is still up 15. It's only got 2 Vikings, though. Where's the Robo Bay? Robo Bay's done, but no Colossus in the production tab. Stalker's there. One of them goes down to the Widowmine. Zealots running in on the 3rd base. Clem's got to be careful. He's got to grab his whole army. He's got this drop on this side. They should catch those Zealots. But he's too busy looking elsewhere because here comes the big storm push. That's where his focus is. Vikings come forward, trying to take care of that Prism, but another Viking goes down. Super problematic here for Clem. Having a micro in multiple places at once. It looks like that Stalker does go down potentially to these guys, but at the same time, Zealots are going to run back into the 3rd base. The bio already overstimmed. The medevac count down to just 3. They're a little low on juice as well. They're not all with the army. That full energy High Templar on the top just got caught. Zealots coming in from the south, but MAXPAX, dude, it's all shambles for MAXPAX. He just threw his army away. Man just got very sloppy. Felt like he just basically threw the PlayStation controller over to Hero, said, I need to go take a pee break. Just take over this game for me, buddy. Just got a little bit crazy there. Don't normally see MAXPAX try and force the issue that much. He's had a Robo Bay up for several minutes, only now starts a Colossus. And Clem survives a scary moment in the game on the back foot. His bio's really wounded. But, I mean, it's all good. He kept himself alive. He's got a 4th command center, 2nd eBay armory, all rather late in this game. And it feels to me like Clem was not really gearing up for the long game, maybe gearing up for his own push. And I think the fact that MAXPAX went in and attacked into Clem's setup played into his hands. If MAXPAX had been taking a 5th base and going for the 2nd forge and so on, I think that would have played out a bit better. I think he missed his timing. Zealot runs in, Prism on the left side with an Archon inside. The Archon, a big old ball of shields and splash damage. That Prism's going to get EMP'd and potentially focus fired. Oh, yep, stays in range, goes take it down. Zealot Stalker over there. Raven still hanging on that far right side of the map. Units lost tab now is 3,600 in favor of Clem. What a turnaround. From down 500 to 1,000 resources to having that big of an advantage? Wow. Double auto turret comes in, takes out a few probes, and the Zealot, not bad. Raven getting itself some real good value. Zealot's starting to get cleaned up. Every Zealot's 100 minerals down the drain. I mean, MAXPAX has a 5th base. It's not over. He's got Storm. He's got 2 Colossus, extended Thermal Lance, 3rd Colossus coming out. His gateway count's good, 10 gateways. 2nd Forge coming with the armor upgrades. Like, it's not like this is game over. But Clem is now in the lead, I would say. He's getting time to get 2nd Starport, 2 more barracks. MAXPAX kind of lost a bit of momentum in this game. And I think you're happy to play 4 base versus 5 base as Clem versus MAXPAX here. Storms are everything. Oh, my lord. Wow, 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 wow. Clem's like, oh, damn, did he see me coming? He scanned thinking an observer saw him. But that was just very obvious, Clem's movement there, and it's shocking that he wasn't storming ahead, so... No, MAXPAX didn't have any special information. He just moved forward and dropped a storm on your giant army. But Clem pulls back, doesn't lose many units there. It's mostly just damage. If a fight happens right after a storm like that, that's where you really end up being a bit upset. Double Drops tries to sneak by on the north. Another storm comes down. Nice feedback, stops the snipe from going down. Snipe does take out that High Templar. Nice feedback, pops the next ghost as well. Dude, MAXPAX with some good feedback micro so far. The Widow Mine's landing some good hits on those Zealots. You can see the way MAXPAX was trying to hold position and split Zealots forward, but Clem retargeted. Very nicely done for the French tower. And the Marine's going to run in that right side. He's going to go after this cannon. Obviously, it takes a while to get through a cannon with a battery healing. It should buy time for a few warpins. MAXPAX kind of luckily is not maxed out there. That actually works in his favor. Marine drop continues into the natural. Those Marines will get sliced and diced. Same time, Double Drop's going into the main. Thinks about it. Thinks twice. He did see Stalkers in that main base, and he figures it's a trap. Wow, 8 probes going down. Clem throwing some drops away here to replace them with Liberator supply, and finding surprising amounts of damage. This Raven still on 7 kills on the right side as well. Colossus Storm Army on the front. Second Robos here. +3 weapons on the way. +2 armor. I've got to say, guys, if there was an award for most underrated upgrade and under-prioritized upgrade in pro play in this matchup, it's got to be +2 armor for Protoss. That second forge is always so late at the moment, and it feels like they always forget to start +2 armor. Finally, it is coming in. Double drop in the north. Clem being a big nuisance for MAXPAX right now. Getting rid of the Stalkers. Denies the base in the bottom right. He's going to secure this base rather than the gold. I love it. I think that's such a better place than the gold base. It's such a better position to expand to. But look at this. He's getting flanked from behind. He's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Here we go. Wait, there's no storm with this army. 1 High Templar there. 3 High Templar hiding behind the Colossus. MAXPAX realizes you do not want to engage into the Watchtower, not in the Sensor Tower. It's going to fall back. Dude, so much damage. Another Nexus went down. 18 more workers. MAXPAX. This has not been his game. Map 3 on Amygdala going so well for Clem. Of course, there's a lot of Protoss splash damage. It could still go either way. Right now, 3-1 for Protoss, 2-2 for Terran. More upgrades on the way. Force Field lands on a random bit of high ground. Must have been a misclick there. Colossus getting hit by the Vikings. High Templar, massive EMP on the High Templar. Clem landing a massive EMP. Another High Templar comes in from the right side right now. Another EMP, double EMP lands. Great micro for Clem, but he's choked up right now against the Colossus. Does it matter? The Colossus are gone. The Bio Ghost shoves through the choke point, takes it out, and MAXPAX trying to just attack from one side. I think you really need to stretch a Terran out, be hitting him in the bottom right with some units, start to hit with some DTs, but he doesn't have the money for it. And the last 5 to 8 minutes of this game has been a disaster for Protoss. Now 10,000 resources behind. We are talking about great engagements for Clem, botched engagements for MAXPAX. When you combine mistakes from one play with perfect play from another, you get a lopsided decapitation. And that is what Clem showed there, taking the 2-1 lead. Alright guys, MAXPAX, he's on the back foot now. Man, that last game turned south for him. It's a bit demotivating when you lose fight after fight like that, but damn, we'll see how it goes. I will admit, my commentary was starting to fade in that last match, so I've peaked up. I've grabbed an extra coffee here, guys. I'll be staying up for many hours after the broadcast. I normally sleep like a granddad at about 10 p.m. Past midnight now, so getting another coffee in me to make sure I'm ready for these playoffs, as we're going to be streaming probably later into the night than this every night for the next few days as well as these playoffs get deeper and deeper. Would not be surprised to see some epic best of sevens. Today's quite far ahead of the expected schedule. Coffee at midnight. Good life choices that I make for esports, guys. Guys, are we proxying a factory? What in the hell? Is it proxy Cyclone? No. Oh, it is. It's an expansion into a proxy tank? Is this proxy tank? What is this? Guys, I don't know this build. I'm so fascinated. It's Marine into expand, into bunker. Oh, I know the build. It's a 3 Hellion drop, right, guys? He's going to build 3 or 4 Hellions He's going to build a starport extra. He's just going to build them one at a time, no add-ons. He's going to load them up and then fly both buildings home and just play a macro build. It's just a super disguised Hellion drop. Oh, I haven't seen this in so long. This is cool, man. Dude, I love it. This is why I'm so happy to give these players 2 weeks to prepare here for best of sevens. It feels like the players are playing with such a big variety because they've got maps to spare. They're taking bigger risks on kind of experimental builds they're not normally playing, and the Zealot gets it against both SCVs. The bunker at 100% complete, but not actually complete. Oh, no. And this is why CLEM normally doesn't take risks and does the same thing over and over, so this doesn't happen. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's getting wrecked. The Adept will go down, though. Honestly, the fact that he only lost 3 SCVs is impressive, but another Adept's coming in. Can he get that bunker finished? My God, that SCV basically needs to run up and put a single finger on that bunker, and it's going to go from a half-constructed job site to a completely finished building and defensive structure. Hellion building on the other side, but he didn't even build the starport. He's literally just sent the SCV home because he's realized how far off the rails this whole build order's gone. Oh, no. So keep in mind, guys, do not judge CLEM's build order in terms of what the proxy could have achieved. He's had to pull the trigger way more awkwardly than he wanted to. He actually still might get some good damage, though. 3 probes. There's only 1 Stalker and 1 Adept on the map. The Adept's on the other side. The Adept gets inside, kills the starport SCV. At the same time, the Hellions are going to do some damage over here. 7 probes going down. Dude, Hellion not the best for cleaning up. The Stalker's derping. The Stalker's derping about right now. The Hellion does go down. Meanwhile, the Adept escapes. 3-kill Adept. She's seen some stuff. She's going back for more. She's like, I got a taste for battle. I got that berserk now. She's going to go back in and look for some hungry pickoffs. Damn, dude. All right. I mean, Clem's still so deep in the doo-doo, guys. You might think 8 probes. You got to realize his command center got delayed. MAXPAX has been chronoing probes the whole time. And yes, he lost way more. You might be like, well, 8 versus 6, like, that's better for Terran. No, it's not. Not when your command center was not finished. Look at the worker count, 33 versus 24. So this is much better, especially with the factory having to float home. It wasn't able to build add-ons for these other buildings. And I do think with now 3 gate and a prism and blink, that's got to give map control to MAXPAX. And you know what comes with map control, guys? Max control. That's what we call giving your beautiful, beautiful lines that should never have been uttered and will reserve a special place in hell for you. We're giving them space. We're letting them breathe. We let it hang. We let you guys appreciate the words that just came out of my mouth. I'll let you guys sue me later for inflicting that ear pain on you. I apologize. 4 SCVs do go down. Make it 5. Nice. Pick up it. Oh, this is beautiful harassment. 6 SCVs. Doesn't really take any damage. He could even redrop and keep fighting, but he wants to go home to macro. 3rd Nexus goes down as well. Stalkers warping on that low ground. Is it just me or did the music stop playing, by the way, guys? I'll have to check if that's playing after this game. Ooh, if our lovely producer's listening in, maybe she can turn it on. Oh, I think it's on. I think it's maybe just a silent part of the track. Heart of the Swarm has a few quiet bits in the soundtrack. Stalker's dancing in and out right now. That siege tank is in the most safe reserve position ever. He's going to siege. Oh, no, you siege that tank right away. Oh, it's not ready. Oh, no. Oh, and MAXPAX even split firing right now. MAXPAX says, screw you after that last game, dude. Gets the 2 tanks, but does lose quite a lot of Stalkers, and I still think it's amazing for him. Let's be real. He's got an observer right now who's literally just sees everything that's going on. And, yeah, this is... Right now... I mean, when there's an observer in your base like that, I'm trying to think of the correct analogy. I'm thinking of Watergate. He's basically, you bug the phones, you hear everything. MAXPAX is Nixoning this thing, man. That's right, guys. Our references have no boundaries. We just, yep. If you're spying, it's Watergating something. We're going with that one. Marines coming down the ramp. Stalker's just winning this game right now. And Clem knows he's done for. He's got to tap out, dude. He was getting absolutely just ran over there, and it all came down to a Zealot coming in, killing 2 SCVs, bunker barely not finishing. Massive damage from MAXPAX to tie up the series. All right, guys, it's tied up 2-2 right now. MAXPAX in the bottom left side. He's going for a pretty early probe harass. Not able to really delay the barracks, though. depot coming up. Here's a second gas again. Clem loves the second gas here, being able to get the tech and all that sort of stuff. We've got a Nexus coming up on the natural as well. Okay, so this is just like early probe scout, straight up opening for MAXPAX, nothing too crazy. The question is, how does Clem vary things up? I feel like he's going to be kind of the trendsetter from now on. I think MAXPAX, as a series goes longer, defaults to more and more standard play. Like, I just would not be surprised to see, especially on ley lines, very generic map. These guys play this so much in best of threes against each other, best of fives. I would imagine you're going to see a Twilight, you're going to see, you know, 3-gate Blink Robo. And I think, yeah, I wonder what Clem, I mean, he's going to go high ground command center. Double gas in a high ground command center sacrifices a lot of income. I really do feel like one of the biggest things that MAXPAX is missing strategically, guys, Clem's like basically got a very low percentage of doing proxy barracks, right? Very low percent. And his Reaper almost never goes straight across the map. He often goes and dances around, looks for proxies, right? So if MAXPAX opened up 19 Nexus, 19 Core, even 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 games, I think he would be getting these massive advantages going into the early mid game. And I think if he mixes that in versus Clem, it's going to make Clem really paranoid about letting MAXPAX have any room to breathe. Reaper Hellion coming out right now. I harp on about this 19 Nexus, 19 Core a lot, but I really think it's like a hole in MAXPAX's game, is that his opening variety is very limited in that specific, just that little opening moment. Like, yeah, he'll go 3-gate, he will mix in the Phoenix Colossus on El Dorado, that sort of stuff, but I just think that little thing of like always going Core before Nexus does let the Terran get away with being a little predictable. Command Center finishes as the Adept gets it. Gets the ready point SCV as well. Honestly, I'm surprised Clem didn't pull that ready point SCV away. Clem, I know we've made you wake up early. By the way, guys, earlier in the group stage, as the Adept, oh my gosh, if the Shade can find those weak SCVs, it could be good. Are we going to recall? Cancels the Shade, goes back in, goes back for them. Oh, can we get it? Can we get one more? So much lost mining time. Gimme gets hit on the Marine. So in the group stage, guys, I was saying Clem had slept for only 4 hours before he played because he'd messaged me right before. Turns out I didn't even see his response until after the group stage match. He didn't sleep at all because 10 a.m. was too early. So he figured, oh, if I only sleep a few hours, I'll be groggy, so I should stay up. So this is the new healthy sleep schedule Clem that he's been talking about. Just a heads up. 2 probes do go down. He's going to get 3 more probes. Very nice. Stalkers take it down. I mean, that's three probes, 2 Reapers. That's not too bad for MAXPAX. And he did get some good damage with his Adept, so I definitely think he's coming out on top of this opening. He's got the 3rd Nexus going down. And yes, guys, if you're 23 years old, apparently staying up all night and making it through group stages is something you can do. I don't know what his sleep was like before this. I think because he's recently, like we did a show match with him last weekend where he played against a lot of noobs and viewers. He like 1v5 to 1v6 viewers. He did try to get me to do that as early as possible. So we finished just after midnight his time. So I think he has been trying to sleep by 1 or 2 a.m. So I think he would have slept on time for this. I think he did move his sleep schedule to be in better form. Raven on that left side. Observer coming forward. Just 4 Stalkers on the front into pretty fast Forge and Robo. This is a really good greedy build if you're not too worried about Terran pushing and you think he's going to turtle up. I love this mix-up for MAXPAX. Because as much as I criticize MAXPAX for his opening being predictable and not doing the Nexus Core stuff, his mix-ups here are amazing. Used to be 9 games out of 10, MAXPAX would always go for like 13 Stalkers here and he'd always be blinking aggressively and overcommitting. But these days, he'll just randomly sense, hey, you're going to be a bit more defensive this game. I think I can get away with instantly getting a 5-minute Forge, 5-minute Robo Bay. And by the time Clem's Stim Shields Medevac push arrives, you're going to have 2 Colossus out with range, charge, and Blink Stalkers because you're not making 10 plus Blink Stalkers. You're making 6 Stalkers in total. Everything else is going into those higher value units that are going to scale really well. Cool adjustments by MAXPAX. Now, what about Clem? He's got 3 racks, +1 weapons on the way. Very just generic standard 3 racks play, right? Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. And I think a lot of Protoss impale themselves on this defense. Hero, for like 2 months, kept trying to YOLO 4-gate Blink all into this and just kept throwing his armies away. And Hero might have actually been the first guy to reveal this weakness because he beat Clem a bunch of times over the last 2-3 weeks. And a lot of the time it was he'd open up one game aggressive and the next game he'd go super greedy, doing exactly what MAXPAX is doing here. Rush, just a mixture of probes and tech. after getting a few Stalkers for map control and just not do that predictable overcommitment to Blink Stalkers. So it's cool to see players figuring out how to deal with the player here, as the Observer does get sniped by the Raven auto turret. If Clem knows that MAXPAX is not pushing heavily, how should Clem punish it? Don't build as many tanks. Build no tanks if possible, but he's already built 3. And get out there and start pushing earlier. Sneak around these Stalkers with drops, but do it even earlier. So he could have had a drop already unloaded over here, and then the moment Stim finishes is when it runs into the natural before this Colossus is out or something like that. As it is, he's going to try and cut off the Stalkers from behind. Lucky timing for MAXPAX. Sees that with Hallucination. He should know to escape to the south. The flank does not work for Clem. Dude, this is already +1 extended thermal lance, and a third Colossus is going to be ready. Clem's screwed. I think MAXPAX honestly has him in such a bad spot. I think ideally for Clem, you split your army half and half, and you just avoid fighting head on. And hopefully with the mixture of scans, stim, medevac boost, you outposition MAXPAX. You can sneak a drop in his main, start killing some tech. Maybe too much of his army repositions for that. The other half of the army runs in, snipes the 4th base. And at the same time, you need to go for an early second starport and start pumping Vikings. Because if you can't get a good Viking count, you're in trouble. But he's committing. Oh, he's committing pretty hard right now, is Clem. He's got 3 siege tanks. 3 tanks? I mean, he can definitely beat the Colossus if the Colossus move in range of the tanks. It's all about, will the Colossus take that risk? And MAXPAX, he wants to defend this base, but it's mostly Stalkers on the flank. Cancels the Nexus, gives it up. Nice push for Clem. I gotta say, I'm surprised he got so much damage done. Will MAXPAX see this 8 Marine drop sneaking down the bottom? He will not. Oh, but look at that. He intercepts. He gets a medevac with a tank inside. He didn't get the one with 2 tanks inside, luckily for Clem. But cool move. He knew MAXPAX wanted to jump on his army, so Clem tries to get out of there. Looks like he still might lose a siege tank there. But look at that. The Marine medevac drop does sneak into the main base, starts to do some damage. Zealots run into the 3rd. Clem's got to defend the counterattack. Oh, watch out. Anti-armor missile lands in the middle of the army. That's going to give +2 damage to all units attacking this. Marines and Marauders especially benefiting from that. Marines in the choke point right now. Zealots coming through the corridor. Oh, man. Those Marines trading out better than I thought they would. Tries to do some hot micro because his name is Clem. But at the same time, he's distracted. Up in the north, Vikings getting a little bit of damage. Auto turret does go down. Bio trying to fight, but he stimmed. And stimming is a mistake there. Because guess what, guys? Drugs are bad, MK. Don't do drugs. Clem, too young to remember those lessons from South Park. You've got to remember, don't do drugs, they're bad. But this Terran army never learned that lesson. In the Caprulu sector, you sign up for the military, they stick a stim into your arm immediately. Make sure you're not allergic to it. They say, didn't have a seizure, no anaphylactic reaction, it's fine. And they basically just like, yep, he's good, sign him up, chuck him in the power armor, give him a gun, put it in his hands, we're good to go. The Bio, though, does not have a lot of medevac support. He's only got 1 medevac. He's not building any because he knows he needs Viking for the Colossus. He doesn't even realize. Dude, he can't finally realizes cancels, builds those. But he's got to lift this factory and build a starport there right now. If he does not get up the Vikings and medevacs at the same time, he's kind of screwed. And you can see the way right now MAXPAX is setting up the Twister, guys. He's going to come in with an army from the south, potentially, to hit from this side. Army up here poking, and Zealot drop. But look at that. Oh, Clem, 300 IQ Viking, stops the Twister from getting going. Because he was going to drop 4 Zealots, warp in 10 more. And if you suddenly have to deal with 12, 13 Zealots in your main, you're in big doo-doo as Clem. 4th Nexus on the top left side. 2nd Forge coming in. Dark Shrine as well. 8 gateways are there. Supply-wise and worker-wise, it's not like MAXPAX is in the craziest overwhelming situation, but you just got to look at that. 4 Colossus, 3 Sentries, banking energy, no ghosts on the map. Bio Army still not healed up. Needs to get these medevacs from the right over there. 24 Marauders. 1-1 though, against only +1. The upgrade's not very good for MAXPAX. Loses 1 Stalker, 4, 1 Marauder. The Viking count 6 against 4 Colossus, guys. Normally you want at least 2 Vikings per Colossus. Dark Templar trying to warp in. Does he not have a Storm? I don't think he has a Storm. He raises the depot, starts throwing turrets down. There's the scan, I mean, not the Storm. Dark Templar comes right back in. Turrets trying to build. Oh, God, the DT is being very distracting right now. He stims. Remember, you're not getting those hit points back. Drugs are bad, okay? Dark Templar coming in over there. Warp Prism trying to warp in. Dark Templar in the 3rd as well. Oh, the Dark Templar. MAXPAX putting some pain on Clem right here. He stims again, but his Bio They are right now into the worst, lowest point of addiction. Look at how wounded they are. There's no healthcare good enough to deal with them, man. You can go up to a Nordic state or something. You can go to one of those places. You could go to Cuba where there's like more doctors than there are, you know, friggin', I don't know, guys that drive buses or whatever. You're not going to get enough healthcare for these guys. This is crazy. This is way too many stims being used. He's got a slow down turtle. And MAXPAX, he's got to not get over-eager, but I would like to see him keep pressing, because I think he's in a big advantage right now. Feels like Clem's just hanging on. He's got a turret going up in the natural. No turret in the main. I still think he's got to be worried about a Prism getting in the back. Did he kill the Prism before? It looks like he did. Disruptor's now building. Widowmine finally fires. Stalker's being annoying. Colossus looking to bait the stims. Clem's got to not stim his units. He stimmed some units to the left because some Zealots were running in up there. Cleans a few of those up. 2-2 kicking in for Clem. That's really important. The upgrade timing's about to be there. It's not quite there. 10 seconds out. MAXPAX thinking about going for it. He throws a ball there. Stalkers focusing the Vikings is key. If he can get rid of a lot of Vikings, this is really good for MAXPAX. But that is a big if. He throws what I call the Captain Random force field down there. 2 Colossus go down. Still bunch of Vikings left. 4 Vikings versus 2 Colossus. Still that 2-to-1 ratio. 4th command center goes up to the top. It's an orbital. It's the Beyond expansion choice, guys. Beyond believes in orbitals over planetaries in this matchup. Basically a high risk, high reward. I want more money. I want more scans. But you realize you're going to have to defend that with your army. You cannot let Dark Templar Zealots sneak by. And with the Zealots now rotating to hit the natural, Clem's aware of this threat. He's going to need to leave a few units there inside that bunker. Bio. I like that bio positioning up there. If he pulls those north, you're going to be chasing to a bad spot. Balls going out. Oh, free balls. Very nicely shot by MAXPAX. Zealots hit the natural. Bunker SCV mass repair comes in, but it's a distraction. The balls land. Another big pack of Marauders go down. If he can chase down the Colossus army, this might be fine for Clem. But oh, another one comes in. Great dodge. Great dodge on that last disruptor shot, though. Amazing. Another one comes in. Doesn't quite land. He threw it too early. The disruptor comes off cooldown. It goes down. Both Colossus get crumpled. And MAXPAX, what's he got behind this? Mass Zealot. But they are clearing out the natural. It might be worth it. He's doing big economic damage to Clem. But Clem, 3,000 resources ahead and the units lost. And it's that trading from the last game coming back to haunt MAXPAX here. Or from 2 games ago, I should say. You know, it's that trading that looks so scary in these longer games where, yes, you're damaging economy. But the army versus army, that was not a good situation. Now, MAXPAX, he's gone up to a 6th base, but he's still very low on gas, heavy on minerals. He's adding 2 more gases now, but he's kind of all in on this unit comp. He's 3-1 upgrades against 2-2 right now. Double ball goes forward, takes out the siege tank. 1 disruptor does get exposed there, but he throws the shot out as the Zealots do guard it. Gets himself only a single Marauder. Beautiful bio micro for Clem. But I don't know if it's enough because he's on 54 workers against 78. And look at that, he tries to sneak a drop across. He knows that he's in desperate spot. He's trying to just defend his natural here. The Dark Templar blink. MAXPAX baits his scan, gets to the side, and this is so nasty for Clem. The Dark Templar comes right back in. Says, invisible man in the house. Oh, this is what Protoss fun feels like. And as I've always said, guys, very competitive games always have an inverse law between your fun and your opponent's fun. Or likewise, there is a high correlation between your opponent's anger, frustration, and pain and your fun. There's a limited amount of fun. You and your opponent are fighting over it. And in that game, it was MAXPAX with the Dark Templar, the Disruptors, the multi-pronged Zealots who was having all the fun. Clem feeling all of the stress. All right, guys. Clem's going to go 1 Rax expand. No second gas here in Game 6. MAXPAX could get a 4-2 victory. It felt like the momentum was running away from Max earlier in this series. And I'm glad to see that it's kind of gone back into a nice direction. I think it's tough, really, because I feel like as Clem, you run into a game like that last one and you just kind of go, oh, man. Do I have to be greedy now? Because Clem's going to feel the urge to be greedy, and that might open up the opportunity for 4-Gate Blink to be more aggressive. I mean, he's already going 1 Rax expand. This map, not very good for 4-Gate Blink. There's only one little area you can blink up from, so you've only got this one little area. So it's not a good 4-Gate Blink map. Natural's also kind of terrible to attack. So, yeah, if there was a candidate to be a bit greedier on and not bother with as many tanks and stuff, this would be it for Clem. We haven't really seen Clem mix in any, like, 3 Rax builds against MAXPAX in a while, and I think with good reason. I think MAXPAX must have shut them down the last bunch of times he tried to mix those in. The world champion may be knocked out of the tournament. Yeah. He may be knocked out of the tournament. I mean, he's only really been knocked out of tournaments recently in PvT, like playing his Protoss off race, or when he lost the finals of, was it the Luli Cup to MAXPAX? He lost the grand finals. So MAXPAX in big best of 7 series actually has a very good record versus CLEM recently. Remember that MAXPAX, guys, is a PigFest champion. CLEM is not. MAXPAX went into PigFest 4 never having defeated Maru. 6 losses, 0 wins. Beat Maru in the finals 4-3. Absolute nail biter. Maru tried to cheese the heck out of him. There was a lot of proxy barrackses. MAXPAX showed that he was really able to get it together, and he's never lost a series to Maru since then. He's also started having streaks where he does dominate CLEM. Overall, CLEM has the head-to-head advantage. But that's mostly best of 3s they play. Occasional best of 5s. I wonder if in the best of 7 format it actually favors MAXPAX. Oh, Reaper's going to get jumped on, a little sloppy. Hellion drives in. It's going to get shut down by this Adept as well. He'd be lucky to get 1 probe, I think. Not even going to get 1 probe. Wow, okay, good start for MAXPAX, guys. It is going to be 4-gate? No, 3-gate. 3-gate Blink Robo. It's the most middle-of-the-road play for MAXPAX. At least Clem knows it. But I'd love to see him skimp on tank production this game. Even though 3-gate Blink can still be very dangerous, if he just builds like 1 tank, relies on the bunker to defend the natural, that'd be really cool. I think pushing up this ramp into the bunker is kind of scary. Marine's looking to catch the Adept, but MAXPAX micro too good. Adept's coming forward, 2 Stalkers as well. 3rd Nexus up there. Pylon goes up behind the 3rd base. Alright, gonna see some swap arounds. He's gonna go for the 2nd tank, so still reasonably conservative for Clem. MAXPAX feels like he's getting his mojo going. We'll see. He is warping Stalkers in the front, so he's definitely committing a bit more to the aggression. I think it's okay to play a bit more generic as Clem in this scenario. This is a bit more of a standard game, and as I said, not the best angles to attack on this map. Bunker. Oh, he blinks forward to block the repair. I don't know if that's the right call for MAXPAX. He's not going to get it. He's not going to get that bunker. He does pick off a lot of Marines nonetheless, though. How many units did he lose? Like 1 Stalker? Loses 1 Adept, nothing else? Oh my god. This is actually one of those things, like, people did not realize in 2016, when they gave the Warp Prism ranged pickup, what people would do with the Warp Prism. Like, I don't think anyone realized a decade later, people would just be using this Warp Prism as, like, an unlimited APM player hack to never lose units. You're just like, what the hell? He finally loses a Stalker. How many Marines did he kill? 6 Marines. At least he didn't kill any SCVs. So I think Clem holds on fine. I'm just always shocked by the micro these two display. More barracks coming in, factory and starport there as well. 50 workers against 53 in MAXPAX's favor. But it definitely feels like the stim, the shields, the medevacs could be hitting a much sharper timing this one. Depot goes down. You don't really care about losing a depot. 2 tanks sieged up in this main. This is just 4 Stalkers. It's not the scariest army. But look at that. Kills a reactor. It's 50 minerals, 50 gas. Not bad. Value is value. Raven comes in. Oh, that's a bit of an F2, I think. Corrects it, sees the mass gateway. And you guys know the build. This is the standard build. Sentry. So you know what comes in after Sentry? Robo Bay 4th gas. He always delays his 4th gas to about 15 seconds later. Whereas the Koreans, like Zaun, have often been playing 3 gas. And doesn't ever take the 4th. Hero almost always goes 4th gas Robo Bay same time. And actually, interestingly, MAXPAX not taking the 4th gas this time, guys. Interesting. His habits are changing. He is still very gas-starved, so he will need it. But sometimes just prioritizing more mass charge, getting more zealots out. Minerals do make the core of your army. Oh, that feels bad, man. It's a feels bad moment when you load up a sneaky drop and fly it into a scout entering your base. You just have to do the sad Abe Simpson unload. Pretend... What? I thought this was the doctor's clinic, not the place where the scantily clad ladies dance. What? How did I get here? I'm old. Ah... Fourth Nexus already at 7 minutes. Dude. Charge +1. Colossus coming in. Zealots warping in on the right side. Did we get extended thermal ads? It's just started. Does have that fourth gas mining now. Just started mining for MAXPAX. It's a poke. I don't think this is a serious push for Clem. He hasn't sold his bunkers, guys. If Clem's committing to this, he better wake up. He's left a bunker at home. A bunker, 2 bunkers, 1 loaded. Is he worried about just the Zealot drop, I guess? I guess he's trying to... Okay, yeah, it's not a real push. Oh, this is so clever. He moved out to make it look like a real push. He gets 3 Stalker kills. Maybe even 4. The tank splash damage on the damaged Stalkers was deadly. He sets up an ambush in the middle of the map. He baits the Prism to come back in, leaving a bunch of units in the bunkers at home. He's trying to bait MAXPAX into throwing units away. Meanwhile, he's building Vikings, and Clem is not actually planning to commit to this push. He's just rotating around and acting scary, and he's waiting for MAXPAX to throw units into the meat grinder. Great move. That being said, the Zealots still get on top. There's more running in the natural at the same time, guys. Clem, pretty well prepared, though. He's not losing that many SCVs. The third base, he's lost a lot of damage, though. Uh-oh, front side. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, units going down. Dude, he's jumping on the Colossus. Crazy attack here. Clem realizing a lot of Zealots just committed to the counterattack. MAXPAX may have overextended. He might not be able to defend this fourth base. The Zealots trying to get behind these tanks. It's going to take a while for those Zealots. They need to go all the way around here on Arrowholm. Fourth base goes down. Great snipe for Clem. Clem, units lost tab, 1,300 resources in the advantage, and look how quick he is on the tank pickup. This is what makes Clem so good, is he realizes MAXPAX wants to jump on that army. If I get out of here, it's huge. Knowing when to commit, when to pull back is what makes a top-level player as good as they are, right? That's why people, when they try to copy Clem's builds, it just doesn't work. Well, it's also because he's Clem and he multitasks and micros like a freak, but it's also the fact that he'll, in a split second from a single frame, recognize, nope, run away. No. Oh, actually, yes, commit. And then he'll quickly say, cool, got the Nexus, now run. And it's just so flexible. There's this instant pattern recognition, this mental flexibility where he's swapping between committing to an attack, evacuating, running away before MAXPAX can punish him for it. And that's what's making it such a nice comeback. And dude, this was a game that started pretty well for MAXPAX, remember? But now he's lost so many Stalkers. Every Stalker, 175 resources of pure dumpster fire for Protoss. Every Protoss player will tell you how much they love the Stalker, guys. My favorite thing, I was reading Twitch chat earlier today, people going, look at the Stalkers, they're so overpowered. That's every Terran player. Every Protoss player. My god, Stalkers are the most garbage, expensive, overpriced unit for the worst stats in the entire game. Give us a decent gateway unit. It's the dichotomy of StarCraft, guys. The Stalker really is one of those units that is garbage if you don't use it correctly. And you put it in the hands of a god like MAXPAX, it can become fantastic, but then Clem counter micros. Clem catches them once or twice, they start to crumble. You pay a hefty price when you don't use them correctly, and MAXPAX has not been using them correctly this game. He's found some bad fights. It's a lot of Vikings. Oh man, anti-armor missile comes down. Nice first disruptor shot. Does get 3 Marines. Clips a Marauder as well. Zealot counters continuing to come in. He's going to force Clem to multitasking for a mistake. Clem trying to split some bio up there while maintaining a concave of tank Viking. You cannot move into this. MAXPAX looking for the probing ball shot, but with tanks in range, it's going to be tough. Zealots on the 3rd. Command center. Oh wow, he's going to snipe the 4th. I mean, MAXPAX is back to 3 base though. Does save his probes at least. Lovely recall there as the Nexus goes down. I mean, the hope is alive. Killing the 4th command center, getting some SCVs. MAXPAX can still fight back. He's got a big scary army. He didn't throw his army away, but being on 3 base this late is a disaster. Your main's half mined out. You're natural. You're losing these mineral patches in the next 20 seconds, right? 5 minerals, 30 minerals, 55 minerals. So this base is half mined out. You're essentially on 2 full mineral lines. Terran is as well, but Terran is meant to be a base behind Protoss, or at least half a base behind, roughly. 3rd command center wide open. These Zealots do take a Widowmine to the chin. They immediately run away, not knowing where the Terran force is. Another Stalker goes down. Great movement with these drops, but you gotta be careful not to get jumped on. He's got a tank here as well, which is crazy. Oh, Clem maybe going a bit too close to the sun. But look at the way he's kind of baiting him down there and shoving the north at the same time. The tanks are going to get an amazing siege position. The probes getting gunned down. Oh, so bad there for MAXPAX. The Zealots do come in on the counterattack. denying some buildings that were building. It's a lot of Zealots there. South side, it looks like these Marauders and Tank going to try and fight here. They're actually going to trade out reasonably well versus the Stalkers, but the Colossus will eventually clean it up in the north side. The bio dives on the Disruptors. The first rule of the Octagon. MAXPAX forgets it. Protect your balls at all times. That's what they say. I've seen Herb Dean say that. That's the first thing he says whenever MAXPAX and Clem step in the Octagon, but MAXPAX forgets it there. Forgets to wear his box. The Disruptors go down. The Vikings take out the Colossus. Marine Marauder on the left side. Third base does get ransacked, but Clem, he's still on 37 workers with a fourth command center coming up, and he's going to be okay. The Viking tank. Oh, the Zealots do find the tanks. The bio's very damaged. MAXPAX, can he make some magic happen? Because he needs to make some level 17 magic right now. We need the sort of magic that would give him some sort of miraculous title. We are talking about Harry Potter levels of plot armor, where every time the bad guy does anything, some magic beam just pops out of his wand and automatically just hard counters anything bad that happens to him. Right now, MAXPAX needs a Hermione to cover his back as well. I mean, he needs all of the good things. He is down 20 army supply, no bases mining other than his natural, and the third base that he's just retransferred probes to, but Clem took a lot of damage as well, and oh, MAXPAX finds a value. Full medevac in the top right. Fourth command center landing though. The Zealots see it. He's got to feel bad about that one. Widowmine over there. Zealots, Immortals, and Stalkers. A sentry. The problem is when your army is this weak, 3 Disruptors don't offer a lot. If you've got a few Colossus in here, maybe. But there's still 12 Vikings. And this is something, Clem was the player who popularized this. Maybe someone did it in the old days that you guys remember, but in the last 5-6 years of StarCraft, Clem is the one guy who doesn't throw his Vikings away. Most Terrans, they kill the Colossus, they land the Vikings and let them all die to Zealot Stalker. Clem will send them home, use them to defend counterattacks, repair them up a lot of the time as well, though he hasn't had the time to do that. Oh, the Disruptor! The Disruptor gets focused down. Crazy attack there. Clem diving in. The Guardian Shield helping out a lot. It's 2-1 upgrades only for Protoss. Another Disruptor comes forward. He's going to try and run away from that one. And the Zealots on the right side. Clem just has too much stuff. 7,000 resources ahead in the units lost. He is looking very, very good. And that Immortal is going to go down. MAXPAX, no lightning bolt scar on his forehead. And Clem is going to tie up the series and take us to Game 7. All right, all right, all right. Game 7 on Talisman. Clem in the top right going for a gas first opening up against MAXPAX in the bottom left side of the map. Keep in mind, guys, this is the map with the worker-only path down to this expansion. You could risk taking it as the Protoss player, but it's hard to defend from something like a bunker until you open these mineral patches up. It does give you 4 gold mineral patches, though. Looks like Clem might be thinking about an early factory or the like. It's a bit late for an eBay block, isn't it? Is he going to get there? I guess he does, because it's always Cybercore first with MAXPAX. But he's scouting for the eBay block this time, so he will be able to pull probes to deal with it. Ooh. All right, probe starts to attack. How many probes? 3 more probes he pulls. Meanwhile, his probe starts harassing the Barracks SCV at the same time. Pulls back at the perfect moment. That's not a very successful engineering bay block. Pretty good shutdown. I mean, this is something you expect. It's going to happen about probably half the time you go for an eBay block as the Protoss checks for it. Shuts it down pretty quickly. Clem needs to cancel that. He does. Gets the 94 minerals back. Nexus goes down. MAXPAX, perfectly measured response. Really good start to Game 7 for him. We'll see what Clem makes of it as he goes for a command center on the high ground. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time to the channel, welcome everybody. So this is a big $10,000 tournament we're running at the moment. Basically entirely crowdfunded. So thank you so much everyone who's been part of the community, hanging out and watching. We've got 3 days. This is day 1 of the playoffs. We did the group stage 2 weeks ago. Did a bunch of really fun show matches last weekend as well. Which I think a lot of it was on my normal time zone. Is a bit more American friendly. So if you guys are in Europe or Oceania or Australia, you guys will have to check those out on the YouTube. But it's going to be a big couple of days. We've already seen Cyril, MAXPAX, Beyond vs. Clem. It's the final match here to see who gets into the semi-finals alongside Cyril, who's already there. It's going to be so sad to see one of these players not make top 4 because either one of them could be the eventual tournament winner. But it is what it is. Got to beat the best, and these playoffs are incredibly brutal. Best of 7, so this map will decide the entire thing. Starport's there. Command Center is just finished. Got a Twilight Council on a second gateway coming in. MAXPAX just sticking to his guns, what he knows well. That Command Center starts to go down. Hellion does jump on top of the Adept. The Adept's just going to shade away. Of course, damaging the Hellion's kind of nice because it can't heal on its own. He's trying to hunt it down, is he? No, he's just going to go for the Scout. Second Adept comes forward as well. Hellion and the Reaper could try to bypass for a little bit of harassment damage. I think he was hoping to catch the Adept on the way home, but it stays on the front and keeps on shading forward. So now that Reaper and Hellion trying to push back this map vision. More Hellions building. Oh, he's going to go for the 3 Hellion drop. Either that or he drops more often than the Hellion drop is Pros will go 8 Marine drop in the main. And then they'll try to run 3 Hellions in the natural while they're distracted. But I actually think the Hellion drop is so rare at the moment in the matchup. It's got a really good chance of catching MAXPAX off guard. If you can hide the extra Hellions, the Shade only has 4 vision. He did not see the Hellions there, guys. See, the Adept itself has like 9, 8 vision, something like that. Pretty good vision. The Shade, only 4 vision. Can't see very far. You can see now. It is 3 Hellions. And a Reaper going to try to run across the map. The Marine drop heading forwards. Does the Adept see the medevac? He sees it. He sees it. MAXPAX aware. He's aware of it. And that's a problem. Clem committed a fair amount of units to this. The Adept's counterattack. There is 0 calm defensive play. It's purely, I know I can defend with Stalkers. Let's mess you up on your side of the map. So Clem not only committing to an attack that's been spotted, which, by the way, the Stalker's not in the wall. It's not walling it. Oh! Hellion's enough to one-shot these probes. That is a problem. He's going to get 5 probes to start. Can he get a few more? The Hellion's going to run away. Wise choice. Marines in the main base. They take out quite a few probes. 9 probes in total falling. The medevac survives. Blink is done. He gets out of there just before Blink is ready. Marine sees the Warp Prism coming across the map. What the hell is this Marine doing here, guys? I mean, some insane douchebag officer said, yeah, your orders are to go running outside the Protoss base and tell us what happens. A suicidal mission, but that man did follow orders down to the T. And he does give word that there's a Warp Prism coming across. These guys gonna come into the worker line. Marines no match for the Stalkers, but the Probes not gonna be good at fighting that. And dude, does he actually save this? Oh, he's not clicked it away though. The medevac, he didn't micro the medevac away because he was distracted. He ends up saving it now. The Stalkers are close behind, but he can unload, keep those units alive. Stalkers on both sides right now. The Marines are gonna try to fight, but that's gonna go down. It's a shame he did not save this in the dead space. The Stalkers being microed here. That does distract MAXPAX, but he's gonna blink into the main base at the same time. There's a tank coming up. Viking is there and landed. Dude, what a hectic game 7 this is. Both players stabbing each other. This reminds me of that scene in Chopper, the film, where Eric Bana is getting his buddy to stab him so he can get taken out of prison. Absolute savagery right now. You're just like, geez, stop stabbing each other, bro. Terran and a Protoss and a knife fight in a phone booth. The Stalkers blink forward. A crazy choice. And he got blocked by the production. Did not kill the tank. A quick clutch pull on the SCVs. Gets the repair there. The Stalker's trying to get out. Wow, 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 wow. MAXPAX is going to have to tuck this one away. Dude, he's taken too much damage. He lost 14 probes to the Hellions and the Marines. As I said, you don't see this move anymore. If that Stalker was on hold position in the middle of the wall off, or if he built a gateway, he would have shut down the pressure. But he didn't have the setup. He underestimated it, and now he's YOLOing, and oh, he keeps expecting the tanks to be on siege, but they're not. And that is costing him big time. Landed Vikings are basically marauders, remember, guys. Very good at fighting Stalkers. Raven comes forward as well. Nice pick off there. Good discipline on the hold position, but another tank gets one shot. He's got to get out. All right, he pretends to evacuate, leaves 4 Stalkers in a prism there that could try to go in on the main, but that tank covering the entire mineral line. Extra barracks. It's the 3rd barracks that's being built right now. +1 starts on the eBay. The tank is still covering. And when he gets an SCV, doesn't lose any Stalkers, but you can tell MAXPAX stressed out, feeling like he needs to do more damage, and he's just not finding it. And the problem with MAXPAX's style is he doesn't really have a crazy, like, comeback play strategy that he pivots into when he's behind. He just tries to play solid style that he knows best and do it really well and use defender's advantage. And don't get me wrong, he makes some incredible comebacks, but this has been an awkward start. I mean, there's a bit of time for him to recover. Stim and shields aren't quite done. The reactor's only now starting, which means it's a few minutes until medevacs hit the field. Clem's kind of forced to sit at home for a little while. Maybe MAXPAX can use this time to rebuild his probe count, and he is going to go Templar Archives. I think that's a good choice. Storm has amazing comeback potential, of course, if Clem realizes what's happening, dodges the storms, does everything just right, he can still overwhelm. He's got the momentum, he's got the advantage, but I think you've got to take these sort of risky plays. You know, going Colossus when you're this far behind, it's going to be so hard to ever be in position. Look at this drop, though. Oh, and he even finds the prism coming home. Gets a prism. Gets himself a probe. And he sees a Zealot there. The Stalkers come back. Doesn't see a Colossus or anything like that. It might start to make him think, is this Storm? Maybe. MAXPAX scouting. 58 workers against 58. Equal workers with Terran. Means you are not in a good spot. And he's leaving 2 bunkers at the natural. MAXPAX has been so heavy on the Zealot counterattacks that he's leaving that. Bio in the middle of the map. Stalker does go down for a few Marines. Normally a decent trade, but MAXPAX needs better than decent. He needs excellent trades. Storm still 35 seconds out. Clem seems to sense that there's a window right now. I think he realizes there's no splash damage. Let's go. But that Storm is almost done. The Prism on the left side. Remember, the previous Prism went down. He's got a new Prism. There's no High Templar inside. Where are the High Templar, guys? He's only got 1. It's full on energy, and it's been scanned. It's been scanned. Zealot run by comes in. Going to start to take out those SCVs. Nicely done. Auto turret goes down. The Zealots do use their charge on it. Prism's going north to try and pick up the High Templar, but there's only 1 High Templar. 2 Side Storms available. It does have a 1-second cooldown, I believe, so we can do 1 Storm, wait a second, then do 1 more Storm if the High Templar survives that long. Stalkers blink forward. Sentries come down. He picks up a Stalker and drops it. I think he meant to pick up the High Templar. He lands a Storm. Is that going to be enough, though? The hallucinated Archons taking Widow Mines to the chin. So much bio on the left side. MAXPAX can't keep up. And Clem comes out on top. A chaotic, messy, aggressive early game, but he manages to do it. GG, well played. Clem winning a barn-burning series here to get to the semi-finals. A well-earned victory for Clem.